Okay, so the next part is already our surfaces. We already know our curve, and we have several ways. We have our primitives here, plus some ways to create our surface. We have revolve and loft and extrude and B-rail, plus other ways to connect surfaces together. And again, we have in NURBs, we have our primitives here, and in surface menu, that's where we have the loft and revolve and B-rail and extrude. So just to show you something that I've been talking about, so the surface comes from a curve, right? So I'm just going to create a curve here. It's going to be an arc, and I'm going to snap it to the grid. Okay, and now I'm going to revolve this on the y-axis. Okay, and it's the normals are inverted, so I just have to go to surface and reverse direction. Okay, and this is pretty much like all the spheres, like the NURBS primitive spheres that we've seen. So if I create a sphere, you see it's not so different to the other. I actually had the grid on. Okay, so the difference here is that I have more isoparms. Okay, not in this v coordinate, but in u. And the thing is that that's basically has to do with how I create my curve. And if I want to see that, I just go into the curve, okay, and I select my CV, my control vertex, and I see how they are actually following, or let's say the isoparms are following this curve point, okay? So ideally, I will create my curve in a way that the CVs are equidistant to each other, so that I end up having a nice surface, okay? So one more thing I wanted to show you is that if I edit this curve, the surface is going to update, because until I erase the construction, everything I do is parametric, and it's going to follow what I do to the curve, okay? And if you see, I always get this very soft NURB. So the advantage is that I always get a very soft NURB and a very precise curve. And the disadvantage is basically that it is a curve. So if I would like a sharper edge here, I have to add a lot more curve points, and that's when it starts getting complicated. But actually, it's a very nice curve, and this might be a bit harder to achieve in polymodeling. Okay, so now we can continue with the other tutorial, which is actually the grid phase.